Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? We are live here with Real Estate Redefined, and we're just having a blast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Third week in a row. So.
Third week. Here we go. Yeah, we've got a lot to talk about. You all know Ryan. You know him. You love him. You've seen him on here.
I had someone recognize me this morning.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I was trying to find water for my office.
Yeah.
And yeah. One of the guys helping me out recognized me from the show. So.
How funny. Well, look, you know it's working.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
we have our lovely folks joining us today. We've got a few watching right now. So make sure everybody say hi and drop your questions, because we've got a lot to talk about today, but we want to talk about everything that y'all want to talk about. So make sure you drop your questions in the comments, leave us comments, tell us what's going on, what you want to know about.
And even if we don't get to it today,
Yeah.
that's something we can see and come back next week.
For sure. We're always paying attention. So go ahead and drop those comments right now, those questions. So like we said, we've got a ton of stuff to talk about. You were talking about getting water just now. We've gone through a lot, everybody here all across Texas. And so we want to talk a little bit about just being prepared for the next thing, whatever that may be.
We don't know what the next thing's going to be, but I'm guessing it's going to be something.
Yeah.
We started talking about, like, last week we were talking about what you say to your insurance guy when you call him when you have something like this happen. But now that we're past that, what kind of questions do you need to ask your insurance agent going forward? Like, am I prepared if this happens again, or if something else happens? So some of the things I thought was, you need to call the insurance agent and ask what your deductible is.
Yeah.
You might need to adjust that up or down just based on some of these disasters, and then figure out what kind of coverage you have.
Actually knowing what you have. A lot of folks, they sign up for it and they're just like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever, insurance, but they may not know what they have.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed now with insurance companies is, used to you'd have to go into the office and they'd put the paperwork in front of you and you'd sign it.
Yeah.
Now it's all digital signature,
and
you're clicking through on your phone as fast as you can, and you're not reading any of it. So you need to know if another freeze happened, are your water lines protected in your insurance policy?
Yeah.
Or if some other, it might just be your water heater that breaks. Am I protected on that? There are policies that cover it, and there's policies that don't. So I would say knowing your coverage is going to be key.
Yeah, for sure, because pipes, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
They burst, they have problems. So definitely you want your coverage for your pipes. And then we deal with hail a lot. So what about like roofing and all those things?
Well, roofing comes back down to that deductible.
Yeah.
So, most homeowners policies have a 1% deductible that is affordable enough to get a new roof replaced. If you have one of those deductibles that could be 2% or greater, you might be out of pocket $5,000 or $6,000
Wow.
before putting your roof on. So it's going to put you in a situation where you're going to not do that roof when it needs it because you can't afford the $6,000, and then something's going to come up and you're going to need to sell the house, and it's still going to need that roof, and it's going to be too long to go back to that insurance company. So, knowing your coverage and getting a good, honest insurance agent that's going to tell you, hey, this is what I would recommend to have in case of an emergency like this.
Definitely. And just like you can shop around with, contractors and everything, you can shop around with your agents and see what everybody has, what's going on.
I think insurance, like, as a whole, is high in Texas right now. We've had so many hailstorms.
Yeah.
But there are different prices between insurance carriers. We see them all the time. I've seen $2,500 a year for insurance, and then another agent quoted $1,300. So there's that difference, and then what are those policies? What's the difference in those policies? So look at what you're paying right now. Talk to your agent. It might be that you want to shop around. It might be that they can shop through different companies for you. A lot of the independent insurance agents can buy insurance through 15 or 20 different companies. So
they can do all the hard work for you.
Yeah, that's what I have. I have one of those agents that shops a multitude of companies and then finds the best one for me. So.
Well, perfect. Yeah, so definitely know what you got, know what you're paying, know what it covers, because one of these days, like you said, you may want to sell your house, and you have a lot of ways to get prepared when it comes to selling your house, right? And now is kind of the hot time to do it.
Now's typically going to be the time we're coming on spring, where people, if they're going to move, this is a popular time to do it. There's always more houses that sell in the like early midsummer than any other time of the year.
Wow.
So I know there's got to be people thinking about it. We definitely need houses on the market. We're still under 150 houses for sale in San Angelo right now.
Wow.
So that's low for this time of year by about half. But if you're thinking about selling your home, what popular things I see people do is they want to work on the curb appeal.
Yes.
You know, it's going to
Got
start
to make it
getting
look
warm.
good.
Hopefully there's some plants available around town to purchase if you want to work on your garden. But it's a lot of times people do updates. I was talking to Brian Gargan with Budget Blinds yesterday, and his phone's ringing off the hook with people working on their window coverings.
Oh, yeah.
They're replacing blinds. They might be doing shutters. They're doing things like that. So I know inexpensive ways to update the house, are going to bring a good return when you sell.
Yeah, because obviously, you want it to look nice for those people coming in, and that helps it sell if it looks better.
Definitely. So another thing that I don't see it happen a lot. I know I've seen it in other markets, but getting your house inspected prior to putting it on the market. So you could call up, there's 5 or 10 home inspectors in town. Typically those get called out when someone's buying a house. The buyer sends them out.
Okay.
A seller could call a home inspector and schedule an appointment. They could come go through every part of the house in 2.5 hours and let the seller know, hey, when you sell your house, this is going to come up. Let's get it fixed now.
Yeah.
And so when you sell your house, you're not going to have any obstacles as far as getting through your inspection period because it's already been done.
Yeah.
And it's also another thing you can advertise when your house is on the market is pre-inspected. It's already been done. You can go into this house knowing you're not going to find any surprises because we've already found them. So
that's great. I
want more
would
people to do
definitely
that,
attract
honestly.
me. Yeah. Because you want peace of mind when you're buying a house because there's so much going on already.
Yeah.
It's a big, huge purchase. So you want to take all that
definitely.
more weight off the shoulders.
Yeah, and we've worked hard this year coming up, or this year and last year. We've got a great vendors list. We've got 65 agents at the office. We don't all use the same person. So what we do is we've compiled a list between everyone that uses, we've got AC guys, we've got home inspectors, we've got remodel, handymen. So we've already done the hard work is vetting out who we use to get a lot of these things done. And that's a lot of the problem is trying to find someone to do it these days. So
because there's a shortage for all. I mean, there's a lot of job opportunities if you wanted to get into those types of jobs.
I heard a story this morning actually about an electrician that he's like, yeah, the guy wants to buy the house, but he's, if for some reason had to leave work for a week or two, if he got COVID, his boss would fire him. And I said, I seriously doubt that. He's an electrician.
Yeah.
There's no electricians available. So yeah, some of those jobs like the Howard College Trade School is up and going now.
Yeah.
And they're always they've got scholarships available. We need to fund those parts of it. We need more plumbers and electricians and trade workers in general. So
yeah, definitely. Most definitely. You have job security.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
For sure.
I send everyone to the Home Builders Association. They have all the information on the trade school at Howard College. And yeah, there's scholarships available. And so it's a pretty neat program.
Nice. So definitely an option. Contact Home Builders Association.
Yeah.
And so that's great that y'all have, if somebody's watching this and they're like, okay, I kind of want more information about, maybe I'm thinking about selling, y'all have already done the hard work, you said. So you already have.
And we're updating that list. There might be a company that's not here that was here last year, or, you might try to get a hold of your favorite plumber that you haven't called in 3 years and he's not available anymore. So, or they might be 3 months out at this time. Plumbers they have not caught up. I know we talked about that last week, but we needed just some minor stuff done to a house this week, and there's no one that could go over there.
Yeah.
We ended up finding a plumber out of Braun to come in town. So
okay, so you may have to reach out a little bit further than than expected. Well, so we were talking again earlier, kind of about just the housing situation in general, the lack of housing, and then some rental properties. So what's going on with that?
So, well, it seems like a year ago, we had a lack of rental houses. There was like 10 or 15 available. Today, we have way more than that. So we do have rentals available. But there's no houses to purchase for people that want to move here or, upgrade, downgrade. So we got a call on Monday from a landlord. He was out of state. He owns rental properties here. He was asking, is this a good time to get rid of them? And so I started thinking, yes, it is a good time to get rid of them. I thought, if someone owns rental properties, a reason that they might sell them would be, the capital gains are going to be going up forward. So when you sell that property, you're going to be paying more taxes on it down the road. So if you're going to do it, it might be a good time to sell it now.
Yeah.
A lot of investors use the 1031 exchange program. That could be going away. So I've seen some stuff about that. So it could be a good time to jump into one of those 1031 exchanges.
Yeah.
But you might just want to pay off one rental and sell two, and own it free and clear. You might want to pay off your primary residence. So if you have rental properties, it's a good time to have rentals, but it might be a better time to sell those rentals. I don't know. Everyone's situation is different, but it's something to look at for sure.
Yeah. And speaking of rentals, we do have some new properties coming in, some new developments.
There are new developments starting around town, but just every day it's still, even though we have a low inventory, we're getting 15 or 20 new properties on the market every day. So I pulled them up this morning. I think there was like 16 from yesterday afternoon. You can see all these at our website at eranewlin.com. There's a big tab right next to the open house tab that has just listed, and it keeps up to date with every time something hits the market. So, but there were houses there was one by Goodfellow. I think it was a little over 200,000. There was a couple of homes in Southland.
Yeah.
Country Club Lake Estates had a big one listed with a pool. I saw one in the $130,000 price range in College Hills, just north of the Loop in the 140s, and then a couple in the Lakeview School District. So they're coming on.
Yeah, and it's really all over town because you kind of mentioned.
It was a big mixture.
Yeah.
So,
and those are all, and we've talked about this before, but go ahead and reiterate. So those go on your website, and y'all know about stuff before they even.
Well, a lot of times, just within our office, we know about stuff coming on the market.
Yeah.
But these are properties that there's 400 realtors in this town. So any of these 400 realtors could put a property on the market, and within minutes it's on our website. So, a good thing to do, and I know a lot of people have signed up, but they sign up to get email updates. As soon as something hits the market that they're looking for, they get an email knowing it. So we've got a real estate app that does the same thing. And so the key is if you're looking for a house, you need to know about them as soon as possible.
Yeah.
We can do a lot before it hits the market, but at the same time, you need to be watching what comes on MLS in general. So.
Yeah, definitely. And y'all get them before, I know there's some popular sites.
Definitely before Zillow. So
yeah, but y'all have them before that.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you mentioned some open houses. Y'all are going again, right?
They're going. We're still not seeing as many open houses as we have in the past. I think that a lot of that's because there is no houses available.
Yeah.
A lot of time, like if some of these houses that went on the market this morning will not be available on Sunday, so they don't even bother scheduling the open house.
Yeah.
I looked. There are 8 as of right now for this Sunday. Generally in San Angelo, all the open houses are 2 to 4.
Okay.
You can look at all 8 of those, and as new come on, if someone decides today they're going to have an open house, it'll automatically populate into our open house tab on our website. So
okay.
Yeah.
So your website is really,
we've got a couple. You
got everything.
I put the areas of the open houses too. I saw there was one in the Bluffs, 2 at Lake Nasworthy, maybe 3. There's one in Southland. There's one over by Lee Junior High. So there'll be a nice little price mixture too, anywhere from 130,000 up to 600,000. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Available. Wonderful. Well, so for the folks who, kind of going back to preparedness, say they're watching this and they're like, okay, this is my sign. I'm gonna get my house ready to sell because it's a hot time coming up. What else can they do to really just be prepared, kind of for anything?
Well, again, I don't know what we're gonna need next time that we're gonna run out of. I have no clue.
Yeah.
So toilet paper and water, we ran out of those in the last year. So you might have some extra of that set back aside. But, some stuff that we looked for in my house when the power went out for 3 days was we looked for batteries. Mm-hmm. We had some candles, thank goodness. And so I think now we're going to do a little closet and kind of keep some of this stuff to the side because
that's great.
It might not be a 3-day no power experience, but it might be a night, like if we have a tornado storm or some of the windstorms in this town can take out power lines.
Yeah.
With the tree limbs, the trees are suffering because of the cold, so some of those limbs might break. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I know the generators are for sale now. They ran out all over town, and everyone ordered. And someone sent me a picture at Home Depot. They have like a whole aisle of generators. So
so now's the time. Now's the chance if you missed it the first time.
Yeah, and someone might not want to buy a generator that'll power their whole house, but at least maybe a small one to power, a small area of their house.
Yeah.
To where everyone can kind of hunker down and get through it.
Yeah, definitely. Because like you said, those spring storms are coming up. We deal with hail a lot here and wind. So.
Yeah, I think the last May was when we had the big hailstorm that shattered windows in houses, shattered windows in cars, and it was bad.
So if somebody is like, okay, I want to avoid everything at all costs, is it wise to go ahead and if they're if they have their new house or they're preparing it or just making improvements, what's the best way to really go about that as far as shopping around or getting the best of the best, the shatterproof windows if they exist, and how can they kind of navigate that?
Well, I think ask a lot of questions because if you're wanting to upgrade your windows or something like that, you're gonna need, I know that they've got the double pane and the triple pane now. I don't know if any of those are going to be stronger than another, so you're gonna have to ask a lot of questions. I know just from looking online that people are asking about those whole house generators. That you can hook straight up to your gas line, and I saw one that said within 10 seconds of the power going out, it knows, trips, and powers your whole house back up.
Wow.
And they're going to cost you who knows how much, probably
a pretty penny.
$10,000 to $15,000, but for peace of mind, some people will be willing to do that.
Yeah, it comes down to peace of mind.
Yeah,
really.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect. So, what else is going on? We've covered a lot. Is there anything else you want to repeat, maybe for those just joining us, or?
Well, I think just like everything we've talked about for the last 3 weeks, like you might not remember everything we've talked about. You might have heard something and we didn't exactly answer your question.
Yeah.
I think just give us a call. Being in real estate, we obviously show houses and we put houses for sale, but getting those things from start to close, it involves a lot. We're dealing with all kinds of different contractors. We're dealing with the insurance agent. We're dealing with the lenders. So we see so many sides to the transaction. So if you've got something specific you need to know, just call and ask.
Yeah.
Our phone number is on that website, but I'll give it to you. It's 325-481-0500. So just reach out. And again, we're here to help whether you're looking to sell your house tomorrow or next year. So
okay. Yeah, that's great. And like you said, you kind of already did the tough work, the leg work,
exactly.
And you have all those contractors. So
we've got that in a link that we send to people, our vendor list. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Even easier.
Yeah.
So for people who are, they're like, okay, I'm thinking about selling, but I've never sold before. What are some of those steps? Because you mentioned it's kind of a lengthy process.
Yep.
So
if you want to put your house on the market and you've never done it before, the first thing you need, get your house in a state where you would want someone to, like, if you're going to have guests over, you want it that clean. You get it how you want to have someone come and look at it, and then you need to get with a real estate agent to come look at your property. Again, you can't, if you go onto the Tom Green tax roll or you go onto Zillow, you cannot get an accurate number of what your house is worth. So
and that's interesting. We kind of mentioned that the first time, but if you could just explain that again, how they pull their numbers.
Typically, the tax office is pulling numbers. They do get some sales data, and so they might find out that 3 houses on Briar Grove sold last year, and so they could just kind of take Briar Grove and go down the row, and if a house sold for $105 a foot, there's a good chance that a lot of those houses on Briar Grove are going to be on the tax roll at $105 a foot. That doesn't mean they all are. They could be worth less than that or more than that. So the tax office does not go in everyone's house. They don't even drive by them. They've probably never been in any of them. They take the city and they've divided it into quadrants, and they go and try to reappraise a quadrant a year, and there's just so many houses, and there's not enough manpower up there to get to it. So you might look at your value and think it seems low. It probably is. You might look at your value and think it seems high from what you've seen your neighbors sell for. That could be, you know, that might be, you know, tax bills, estimated tax bills have went out. If you think your bill is like the value on your house is just way too high, you can put in a request with the county and go sit in front of their board and argue with them about your value and get it down.
Yeah.
So we get those calls every spring.
Okay.
There is a cutoff.
way.
There's a cutoff when they will take those. Actually, I don't know. Those estimated taxes will be out pretty soon. It might be this month or maybe next. And I think they give you till sometime in May. It'll say on the letter.
Okay.
So if you want to dispute your taxes for whatever reason, then, you know, the county's available for
Okay,
that.
so there is an option to do that
Yeah.
for sure. And then, so Zillow takes those numbers straight.
Zillow
from
takes those numbers. They don't have like the county has more sales data than Zillow does. So Zillow's kind of copying off them. So
the best, most accurate way is to get a realtor to come look at your home.
definitely. There's just no other way to do it, you know. You just don't want to sell yourself short or think your house is worth way more than it is and plan your life around that and then be let down one day. So
Yeah. So you have to have, you know, a realistic expectation and a
Definitely.
realistic, you got to get that reality there.
For sure.
Perfect. Okay. So we're just chatting up a storm.
Yeah.
Sadly, we're out of time. We covered a whole lot. So if y'all have any questions for Ryan, go ahead and give him a call. Their office, they've got how many realtors? Y'all have a ton of people.
Yeah, we've got 60-ish.
They've got a lot of people to help
I think
you out.
65.
Yeah. So are there any final thoughts or messages that you want to share?
No, go check out the open houses for this Sunday. If you got any questions on properties that just got to put on the market, shoot us a request, give us a call. And then, put your questions in the comments. So,
Yeah, definitely.
like this morning I did, I've got to think of some topics. So give me some topics and I'll do some research and get back with you next week.
Perfect. Yeah, because we want to talk about what y'all want to talk about. So let us know. Again, give Ryan a call and we will compile all of your questions and be back next Thursday at 11 for another edition of Real Estate Redefined.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, y'all. See you next time.